Hi friends! So this is a very short video, but something that I think is quite needed. I'm noticing that there are a ton of people who are not getting the beauty of spirit. And when I say spirit, I'm not talking about in a religious matter. I just watched a video that was talking about the inner thoughts and inner placements of how we take in information. And I noticed that in the comments, there were so many people that were actually saying, oh, this is this, but like kind of in a way of taking away from the beauty of exactly what was going on. And so I think it's important for me to read this to you because I think some people don't necessarily take into account what science actually is. And so, based off of the definition on Google, which is pulled from Oxford Languages, science is the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation, experimentation, and the testing of theories against the evidence obtained. In layman's terms, in an easier summarization, science is a study of something, which means a lot of people are really proactive to say, I trust the science. Science is what it is. I mean, I've even heard science is God in a lot of positions. I want people to understand science is studying a concept. And therefore, from studying that concept, you have to understand that that does not mean that all observations are 100% accurate. And so it is better to trust your own science than trust everybody else's of people that even are combining organizations or anything together to believe in the same thing. You still have to test theories yourself to 100% accurately say and sign off on their truth. And because of that, understand this as well. When you think of spirituality, there is a quote that actually says something similar. I don't want to butcher it, but it's basically saying that spirituality is seen science. And science is unforeseen spirituality or something like that, or unseen spirituality. This is the thing about it. When you think about the magic that is in this world, when you really, really process how much stuff that you do on a daily basis, how you're using certain electricity or you're using, the number one thing I always say when it comes to as you get older is that appliances are absolutely the best gift ever, right? It's no longer like going out and spending money on just going out in town, nightlife. It's appliances that are amazing. But if you think about the magic that's behind that appliance, okay, somebody performs some sort of science to back the way that that could work, to back the way that you can create something that will work by just simply plugging it in, and then all the things, electricity, everything takes over. That's amazing. But that is, in a way, someone's spirituality that came to life. And I don't even want to say spirituality that came to life because spirituality is already alive in so many ways. But the way that now this is my own word that I'm creating, dumbify the ability that we have created all this beauty and magic, right? That takes away from the spirituality that's there. So when you think of spirituality, I've made a video about this previously talking about one. The number one connects to thoughts. Something that is spewing the mind, something that is trying to become form, but doesn't quite get there just yet. It is just a thought. And then two is to collaborate on that thought. It's to put the thought together with other concepts that you might have received in outside places, and you're putting it together and you're writing it on a piece of paper. Or it's the collaboration of the thoughts together, or collaboration with others to take this thought and to put it into form. Three is when you're actually creating this. This is the baking process. This is basically what I consider to be almost the 9 months of processing, as in a mother and creating something. It's being fertile, as fertile is 1 and 2, but then taking that and now placing it into a position of where it is creating form. And then 4 is really when something comes into form, but now you have to ground it. Now the situation itself is now going to take form and be provided with knowledge and care and dedication, so that when 5 comes about, which is change, it knows how to survive in that particular area. And that kind of goes back to what we originally learned when it comes to building the house, and how when the house was built, it was, oh my God, this is such an old story. I can't quite remember it, but there was a house built out of the bricks and a house built out of different things with I think it was with the piggy and everything. I don't know. We all know that story. But the fact is that we have to be ready for that particular change. And so because of that, this is the reason why this is so important. When you see things in their manifested form, when you see ideas that were manifested into the form that you now can utilize in physical and natural world, yes, it is a science. It's becoming of a science because it's the study of something that was then created into form. But it doesn't take away the magic of it. It doesn't take away the spirituality of it. The idea that the person sat with for days, weeks, months, years before they created it into form. It doesn't take that away. And so we have got to stop as a society of seeing something in form and then thinking that we can come up with this big word scientific explanation of it as if those things existed once upon a time ago. Millions and billions of years ago, there wasn't someone that was sitting there explaining things in this scientific big word kind of way. It was simply considered as magic or something that was grander than they could understand. And that's the reason why things like the full moon were so appreciated, or eclipses were so appreciated, because of the fact that we didn't spend so much time trying to give the scientific explanation of it. We just embraced it. And so I think it's important to say, do not take the magic out of something simply because you got big words, because you're denying the ability to create. You're denying the ability of connectivity, of collaboration within self, within others. You're denying the variability of things that cannot be explained, but can be created with art enough that colors can show, moods can show, themes can show. And it doesn't always have to have this scientific, large explanation that's so white lab coat. Because truth be told, those people, unless you check mark that yourself and sign off, are just performing a study of something. And we all have the ability to perform the study of something that comes from mind, comes from soul, comes from spirit into greater form. And so I just wanted to share that because I think it's super important that we make sure that we do not knock other people's viewings and other people's imaginations and other people's ability to see things in a larger way that should not large in big word, but large in concept, large in beauty, art, love, spirit, all those things. Let's stop knocking that simply because we don't have certain belief systems or because we don't connect, because our mind doesn't take us to those places. It doesn't make you better than anybody. And community of spirit, don't think that you're better than somebody just because you simply see things on a larger form in art and creation and love than someone can see that's on paper. Guide them to that. Guide them to see that. Give them space and opportunity for them to grow into that enlightenment. I see a lot of comments from the spiritual community also telling people you're not woke. We're all still waking up. Even in a process of you going through spiritual, evolution, you're still in a process of waking up. So nobody should be coming at anybody for the ability of what they see and what they're able to process, because we all come at our own times. And true people that love and are on the vibration of love are going to appreciate when people wake up at their own time periods, and they're going to welcome them in. They're not going to slap their hand. They're not going to talk down to them. They're going to welcome them in, because love vibrates on understanding. It doesn't vibrate on trying to play who feels better or who is better or any of that. So it's super, super important to trust your gut, of course. Understand that you have that ability of science in the study of something, but also understand that everyone is at their own pace and you should be more welcoming. And you could even learn, even if you're on day 50,000, you could learn somebody from day one. That is the concept of as above, so below. Because we learn from everybody around us, and everyone has a piece of the puzzle that is going to make us greater at understanding this greater understanding. So, humble thyself. And remember, you are part of the science, and you are part of the spirituality. Okay, good morning. I'm going to go have my coffee. Bye-bye.